All right, so hello. This is going to be about the last of chapter 2 in the Prospero Burns. If I didn't remember where I left off, but I covered it, and um, and um, and then chapter 3. So the end of chapter 2 is Hausa, the remembrancer, the main perspective we are following is so it's a flashback. This is the moments after Bear takes them onto his Thunderhawk, him, Fifth, Learn, and Braun, and either at this moment or after this moment, it's not, I don't remember. Both moments, House's in pain and is he's dreaming and delirious. So Hausa remembers him being back on Terra and talks about he's making a pitch. He's an archaeologist working for an academic institution, and he wants not to be a remembrancer following a Astartes Legion or one of the expeditionary fleets, doing the remembrancing, but instead he wants to discover the origins and histories from the times of the Age of Strife, which is the age before and the cause of Old Night. And so that was interesting because added a little more world to it. And what way? That the Age of Strife 5,000 years ago or around that time, there was technology. This is not new information, so to the fandom, so I'll skip over it. But way more new tech, and some kind of fun things from that conversation was the white device is what caused the descent into Old Night, or there was some sort of destructive event around that time. And then they recovered Shakespeare's plays. That's just fun. And then they talked about the Pan movement, which was in context with the Unification Wars in the Old Night. So, I don't know, world building, someone had some sort of movement going on there. Right, okay, so now chapter 3. Oh, and then the last moment of chapter 2 is Bear the Astartes with his hand plucks out House's eye. And then chapter 3 starts. So chapter 3, it's chronologically House's dreaming. He's having all sorts of disassociating and dreaming. And then he wakes up and he's in this dark place. And he's surrounded by people dressed in leather muscle suits, wearing cloth over it, and animal masks. So, like having deer antlers on their head and having a wolf mask look and different animals. And one of those people wearing the costumes is someone named Cormac Dodd. And they're telling him to go back to sleep, but he freaks out and he starts to fight his dream guards or whatever words. And he frees himself from his restraints. He flees from that place, and along the way he sees a reflection of himself, and he has a new body. It's no longer, he described his old body as being like an 82-year-old's. His new body's like a like an 18, 19-year-old's body. And he realizes as in the escape, he can only see out of one eye, his right eye, and it's all in a green light. And that was the same eye Bear took from his face. And he's grabbed onto by someone who is a Space Wolves Astartes. He's wearing the same thing, the leather muscle suit with the brown leather mask, which was interesting, just about anthropology wise. What materials are they using? You know, the environment, the world, and how they make their society and culture and all that. So, and that new guy, his pursuer, who then captures him, we don't get his name, but he takes him into a room where there are three other Space Wolves Astartes, and they're playing chess. They're all wearing masks. And we get introduced to new characters. Jarl of Fife, Scarcy. He's the Lord of the 5th Legion. And so that's pretty much the chronology of the chapter, because then once he gets into that room with Jarl of Fife, Scarcy, Lord of the 5th Company, then they just talk for the next, few minutes, and then that's the chapter. And what they talk about, questions, anthropological questions about the Space Wolves. They have 2 or 3 languages. One of them's Uvik. Another one's Wergang. And Wergang is their battle speak. Their fighting cant is the quoted. Uvik Fenrika is the Space Wolves' native name for their legion, and their nickname for it is the Rut. And they call the buildings that house their chapter on Fenris the Ite, which I don't know if that's which Scandinavian or maybe Scottish language, but it means the clan home. And but to outsiders they call it the Fang, like off-worlders, people from other planets but part of the Imperium, and educated about the Imperium's world and all of that. And then aside from Scarcy, the Lord of the 5th Company, we hear about Lord of the 3rd Company, Og, and then the last person, and I only say it that way because he walked into the into the room at the end of the chapter, Othair Weirdmake, which I liked, and then the cliffhanger was that the events of chapter 2 happened 19 years ago, apparently, or something like that. It's not quite. I'm not quite clear, because Othair Weirdmake informs Hausa that the whole arrangement he had made was with the previous Lord of the 3rd Company, who is now deceased, and that was not. And Hausa was under the assumption that happened a few weeks ago, but everyone's telling him, no, that happened 19 years ago. So that's why I think the events of chapter 2 maybe happened 19 years ago.